Informal Brexit negotiations are underway, and new British Prime Minister Theresa May could be on the road to a surprise compromise. According to the French Finance Minister Michel Sapin, the issue of freedom of movement will be on the table when the UK enters full negotiations to withdraw from the European Union. It's reported that the UK may be exempt from the EU's rules on freedom of movement for 7 years, but still retain access to the single market.
All this comes as quite a shock, especially after the German Chancellor Angela Merkel had refused a deal like this in the past, and other EU member states may not be keen on this either, but they could be persuaded. Analysts suggest that keeping the United Kingdom in the single market could potentially limit the shock to the EU economy as a result of Brexit. Political analyst Jonathan Fryer believes having the UK in the single market would be beneficial for both the EU and the United Kingdom.
The United Kingdom is a very important part of the European single market, not only more than 60 million consumers, but also the strongest economy after Germany, and therefore it would be a huge loss for the EU if Britain were to go ahead and leave.
Many on the right of the Conservative Party are unhappy with this potential deal. One Tory parliamentarian, Bill Cash, who campaigned to leave the EU, simply said, "If we're out, we're out." And it seems that the majority of those that campaigned for Brexit simply want a complete break from the European Union.
What basically the government wants to argue is to stay in the single market and therefore to remain part of the so-called European Economic Area, as is, for example, Norway. Norway is not a member of the EU but is a member of the single market, has to obey EU rules, and that is really what is likely to happen. And the right wing of the Conservative Party is furious about that because they don't want to have anything to do with the EU at all.
The result of the EU referendum was a shock to many, including several EU leaders. But now it seems they have no choice but to try and make the best of a very messy situation. Mohammed Walji, Press TV, London.